One of the best responses we've had from young girls seeing this film in England is, you know, them tweeting, "I'll never not use my vote again." And I think that's so much a part of why we wanted to make the story, just to really get people to understand that there was a huge sacrifice that was made by these women.
Hello, Carey Mulligan.
Hi.
Welcome to the FrontRunners. I'm really happy to see you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so your role of Maud Watts in Suffragette is such a powerful, phenomenal part. How badly did you fight to get it?
I actually was in the extraordinarily lucky position of being offered it. You know, it was such an amazing role, and more so than that even was just the story that we were telling, that for some reason had never been told before, and that was extraordinary.
The women that are portrayed in this movie, they're truly empowering to a lot of people who watch the film. Who in your life would you say has been the most empowering influence on you?
I think probably my mother has been the most empowering. You know, she's always stood behind my choices and not necessarily thinking that they were the best idea, particularly becoming an actor. That was not something that she was wildly excited about, and she was nervous about it, but she stood behind. And she's also always encouraged me to stand behind the things that I believe in and be honest and strong about them, even if they're not popular things to believe in or say. And I think that's something that these women also did. They stood up for things even though they were wildly unpopular. And that's something my mother's always instilled in me. So I'm grateful to have that.
And how did these women compare to you, do you feel like? Could you have the wherewithal and the guts to do some of the stuff that they do in this movie?
It's so hard. You know, it really, I think what's amazing is that so many women did, and they lost so much. I mean, and especially the working classes, they were losing, you know, their jobs and their husbands and their children. And I think it just goes to show, you know, the level of desperation that they'd reached, that they were able to do that, because they do really extreme things, and they did them, and they're in the film. But I think you have to get to a certain breaking point to be capable of that sort of stuff.
Well, we're going to watch a very heart-wrenching scene from Suffragette. This is a moment where you return home to find out some shocking news about developments in your family. So let's take a look and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Say your goodbyes and then let him go.
Open your present. Georgie. Your mother's name is Maud Watts. Don't forget that name.
What was it like for you to look into his eyes during those takes?
It was hard. Well, going into it, we knew that he would find it emotional because in the read-through, he had to leave the room because he found it so upsetting. You know, and he was young, you know, and it's hard for children to kind of differentiate, you know, but he had wonderful parents and very supportive, so he was very well looked after, but we knew it was going to be rough for him. So we actually shot everything of him first. The takes when we were on him, I think we only did 2 takes on him, and both times he just lost it.
Wow.
And then they, turned around.
Can you even imagine having anything in your life that would jeopardize the relationship with your young child like this character did?
No, I know. And it just shows what it was like for these women, that you know, this wasn't something they chose, this was something that was taken from them, but that they endured it and they had the strength to do it, I think just is a marker of how bad things were for women at that time, and how much they felt that they needed to do what they were doing.
Here's the end of this heart-wrenching moment here.
Because I'll be waiting for you to find me. Will you find me, George? Don't forget it.
Come on.
No.
Come on, George. Let him. I'll take him.
Mama!
What is it like? I know it's so. I know.
It's horrible.
What is it like to watch this now that you have such a beautiful young baby daughter?
Yeah, it's different, I suppose. Every time you watch a performance, you have a sort of year or 2 years experience, and you wish you could invest it into the You know, that's the problem with cinema, is that everything's captured in the moment. So I suppose everything builds and you think, oh, well, now I know this, I would do this. And, you know, but you'd spend your whole career doing that.
Do you look forward to a day when you can show her this film?
Yeah, I do. But actually what happened is such a huge moment in our history. If I'd had a son, I would have wanted him to see it as well for the same reasons, you know. And I think that's what's so great, that Maud has a son in the film, because she's doing this for him as much as she would do it for her daughter.
Do you feel proud of the fact that this is a movie directed by a woman, written by a woman, with a largely female cast, about this phenomenal group of women? Is that something that's important to you?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, it's just a whole new experience, written, directed, and produced, and so many of the creatives were women as well. And I think it took a group of women to get it made. I don't think it would have been made by a group of men. And I do think that if the story had been a man's story, it would have been told 1,000 times by now. And because it's about women, it hasn't been. And so to get to be a part of that group is so extraordinary.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this. And we survived it.
I know.
We got through the scene. Well done.
Thank you.
Be sure to see the entire film of Suffragette. Buy your tickets on Fandango. And thank you so much to the TCL Chinese Theater IMAX for having us here today. And thank you for watching Fandango FrontRunners.